Now that you have learned about the structures involved in the human's visual system and how visual coding occur in the retina, we will move on to learning about theories. I will be talking about the theories on how humans perceive color. Visual perception occurs due to the presence of light waves. And for colors, color perception is dependent on the wavelength of the light. For humans are able to perceive wavelengths between 400 and 700 nanometers. That means any wavelengths that are beyond this range are simply not visible to the human eyes. Examples are such as the ultraviolet and infrared. So there are several theories on how we perceive color. The first one that I'll talk about is the trichromatic theory or the Young-Helmholtz theory, and then the second one is the opponent process theory. The first theory is the trichromatic theory, also known as the Young-Helmholtz theory. This theory states that there are three kinds of cones that are responsible for color perception, and each of these cones are responsive to different lengths of light waves. And they are categorized into three different categories, which are short wavelength, medium wavelength, and long wavelength. Each cone responds to a broad range of wavelengths, but some are more than others. So for example, the blue cones here respond to light waves that are between this and this range. And that would be categorized as the short wavelength. The green cones here respond to waves that are between this range, and that is categorized as the medium wavelength. And the red cones here respond to light waves that are between this and this range, and that is categorized as the long wavelength. For determination of color, it depends on the ratio of activity across the three types of cones. The second theory is the opponent process theory. Maybe some or most of you have experienced this. It's when you look at an image or you stare at an image for a short while and then you turn to an empty space, such as a wall, and you're able to see that image that you just saw just now. The same image, but in an opposite color. Almost like it's like a negative of that image. If you have experienced that before, you'd be interested to learn about the opponent process theory. The opponent process theory explains how or why that may occur. At this point, I have a link to a video that I would like for you to watch. It is about the opponent process theory. So you may pause this video for now and go to that link and then return back once you're done with that video. So I hope you enjoyed that video and has an understanding of a good understanding of what opponent process theory is. So to summarize, the opponent process theory suggests that we perceive color in terms of paired opposites, and it just has this mechanism where we can perceive red to green and then yellow to blue, and somehow the brain just excites one set of wavelength and inhibit the other. The thing with the opponent process theory and the trichromatic theory is that they don't explain for color constancy. Color constancy is the ability to recognize color even though there are changes to the environment, such as lighting. And for that, we have the rednecks theory. The redneck theory suggests that the cortex, the brain, compares information from various parts of the retina to determine the brightness and color for each area. So let me explain. Here is an image that I'm going to use to demonstrate. So in this image, you have this, I guess this is a checker box maybe, but you have two squares that are marked as A and B. Okay, as you can see, the square that is marked as A is a darker shade of gray, and the square that is marked as B, it's a lighter shade of gray, almost white. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this image and move it to another app to demonstrate. Okay, I'm taking that image and I'm going to paste it into Paint. So as you can see, this is square A and it is still dark gray, and this is square B. It is still light gray. I am going to remove the environment. That means everything surrounding the square A. And everything surrounding square B. As I do this, keep your eyes on A and B and see if you notice the difference. Do you see it yet? There it is. So if you are not able to see what you're supposed to see, at this point you should see that A and B is the same color, even though before A was a darker gray and B was a lighter gray, almost white. But now A and B are the same color. And that is how the redneck theory explains for color constancy, is that we take the environment into consideration as we perceive the color. All right, that is it on the topic of theories on how the human perceive color. Thank you.